Hello, Becky here. Welcome back to my channel. I have another tag to do and I don't even know what it's called because for some reason I have the questions written down but not the name of the book tag. So we're going to jump in and I'll try and figure out what the name of this book tag is. So question number 1, do you consider yourself a mood reader? And I would say yes, I do. I pick up what I'm in the mood for. And before BookTube, I never really had a TBR. I had to look up what TBR even meant. And I just joined BookTube or discovered BookTube back in like 2019-ish. So yeah, I didn't even know what that meant. And so my TBR pile is like all these books that I have left to read that I haven't read yet. It's just whatever I'm in the mood for. Question number 2, do you set TBRs and do you stick to them? So no, not really. I will do a TBR for something like a readathon, but that's pretty much it. I don't have like a monthly TBR that I set or really stick to. Things like in the summer, I like to read books that are set in the summer. I don't, especially like if summer's in the title, I don't really gravitate towards those in the winter. Although maybe I should, because winter here is like 8 months and it's cold for like really cold for like at least 6 of those. So maybe I should read more summer beach reads then. And at Christmas time, I read Christmas books. That's pretty much the only thing I stick to that way. Do books affect you emotionally? So they can. I don't always get like super emotional with books, but I have cried during books. I have laughed during books. I wrote down like one to watch made me really angry. That is right here. One to watch by Kate Stayman London. This one made me really angry. This is about a plus size woman who is watching a show called like, it's not called, but it's based off of, it's called The Main Squeeze, based off of like The Bachelor or The Bachelorette. She is like a plus size fashion blogger and she's tweeting about how there's never any plus size people on these shows, the contestants and the Bachelorette and the Bachelors going out for her, that are trying out for her. What a weird concept. Anyways, the comments and stuff that she gets as a plus size woman and some of the men that she has on, because she ends up becoming the main squeeze, and some of the comments that the men have to say to her that are there to win her over, I guess. And I don't watch The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, so I don't know what you'd call them. And then the people commenting on the show and like tweeting about the show themselves. This one made me really, really angry about the things that people had to say about her as a plus size woman in a show like The Main Squeeze. Genesis Begins Again, which I thought I had down here. Maybe not. Oh, I do. Genesis Begins Again by Alicia D. Williams. This one made me cry so much and I had all the feelings. Genesis is the name of the main girl in this, and this is middle grade, and I just wanted to hug her and tell her everything would be okay. Genesis is, I don't know how old, but she is in middle school and she is very, very dark skinned, and her dad, they keep getting evicted from places because her dad cannot keep a job and pay to stay in these places, so she's moving around a lot, and so she never really makes good friends at school or anything like that. So this is her journey of being evicted at the beginning of the book and then going to another school. It's usually predominantly white, and she tries a lot of different things to try and change the color of her skin and at least lighten it. She heard like rubbing lemon juice on her skin or whatever would help take out like dark spots and stuff like that. So it was just heartbreaking, and it says on the cover that it is reminiscent of Toni Morrison's The Bluest Eye, but appropriate for a much younger audience. So I want to reread this and read The Bluest Eye as well, but this one made me cry. It was like a middle grade and it just hit really hard and it made me cry. Question number 4, when you're feeling sad, do you like to read sad, happy, or neutral books? And I said probably more neutral books. I don't really know, like, I think when I'm sad and I like want to cry and just like let the emotions out, I go for sad movies. Not so much books. Books, it's just whatever I'm in the mood for. But I don't know, like, when I'm sad, do I read sad books? When I'm happy, do I read happy books? I just kind of like read whatever it is I'm reading. If they happen to be happy or sad at that moment, is whatever, I guess. I don't know. But I go more for the sad movies that I know will make me cry. Most often, do you use reading to escape, learn, or critically reflect? So more as escapism than to learn, and after that, like critically reflect. Nonfiction, usually for the learning. Not saying you can't use fiction books to learn things. We learn a lot through fiction books. But if I'm trying to learn like a specific thing, yeah, nonfiction, of course. And then critically reflect, that again can go with nonfiction or fiction books, but usually I lean towards stories in fiction books as an escape. What is a book that made you laugh out loud? So me and my husband, if you watch my February wrap up, just listened to Dad is Fat by Jim Gaffigan once again, and Jim Gaffigan is a stand-up comedian, and this is his book, and each chapter is like a little essay on parenting and marriage and life. So that one, of course, was funny, being a stand-up comedian. And then a fiction book, Dad is Fat is non-fiction, I guess, and a fiction book by a Canadian author, The Best Laid Plans by Terry Fallis, made me laugh, like, out loud. It was really funny, and if you are part of the podcast, listen to the podcast Books Unbound, they are also Canadian, and they talk about this book called The Albatross, and they talk about it being by Terry Fallis and how much they love this book, and I was like, I recognize that name from somewhere, and yeah, same author, so I want to look into The Albatross, but people who listen to that podcast outside of Canada have said how hard it is to get The Albatross as a book outside of Canada, so it might be the same way with The Best Laid Plans, but it was definitely funny. It is a political story. The main character is in Ottawa, and somebody is running for mayor of the town or something like that. It's not like the prime minister of the country, it's just of like that town. This guy is leaving the political field and going into, it's been a long time since I read it for a book club. He is teaching at a college, some course, I can't remember, and then he has to try and convince this old, like, retired teacher to run for this position, and this guy, like, doesn't care. It's kind of like a better version of, like, Trump running for president, where Trump just, like, didn't care what he said. He just said what he felt like saying, and people still voted for him. It's kind of like that, but a better version of that. Like, this guy isn't, like, derogatory or messed up as Trump was. But yeah, I don't know. It's just, I don't even care about politics at all. I don't follow politics, Canadian, American, anything. I don't follow it at all. I am just, like, bored to tears by it. But this book made me laugh. So if, like, you're put off by political things, this book is still accessible to you. It's also a mini series. I'm not sure you can watch it. I can't remember where we watched it, but the mini series I didn't find as funny, but it's still decent. What is a book that made you cry, and if you don't cry, one that moved you? Night Road by Kristen Hanna. A lot of people cry with Kristen Hanna books. Night Road made me cry. It was her daughter dies in a car accident at 18, just before they graduate from school. And the part that really made me cry was the father saying goodbye to his daughter in the hospital. I don't know if she was already passed or if they, like, had to pull the plug kind of idea. Like, if she was still I think she was, like, they were keeping her organs, like, her body alive to enable to do organ donation, I believe. I'm not 100% sure on that. But so before she, like, passed away, her dad was saying bye to her, and that just, like, made me bawl my eyes out. Like, I was reading in the tub and I had to put the book down and just bawl. And as a mom, like, I was reading the mom story and that was sad, and I was like, oh, it's so sad. But, like, for some reason, the way dads react, especially with their daughters, it just, like, I've seen my husband in that situation, not with the loss of our child, thank God, but in similar situations where something terrible has happened and he's just devastated by it, and that's what hits me the most. And then Where the Red Fern Grows made me cry. Like I said, this one made me cry. Where the Red Fern Grows, there's the loss of dogs in that one, made me cry. Marley and Me, you know that's gonna be a sad one, because, like, it's funny, there's the hijinks of this dog, this badly behaving dog, through the whole movie, and then at the end, you know he's getting older, and you know what happens to dogs when they get older. And I sat there holding my, like, little poodle cross and just, like, bawling as I finished reading Marley and Me. Same with the movie, like, we all just left in tears leaving that movie. What is a book you didn't even know how you felt about after? So You by Carolyn Kapnis. I just read that one in February, and I'm like, I thought it was good. I thought the writing was good, but, like, it was a lot being inside the head of a stalker who's stalking this girl. His name is Joe Goldberg, and her name is Guinevere Beck, but she goes by just Beck, and he's just like, Beck, I did this for you, and Beck, I did that for you, and Beck, my last relationship was not good, and Beck this, Beck that, and I'm just like, oh, it's so much to be in his head. So I was like, I don't know how I, like, do I like this book? Do I not like this book? Do I want to continue on with the series? Do I want to watch the show? I don't know. And another one was Clara and the Sun. I can't remember his name, but it's translated from the Japanese. And I'm just, like, so lost. Everyone is like, I love this book. This book was so amazing. And I'm like, nothing really happened in it. I was confused. Nothing was really explained. You're seeing the the point of view through the artificial friend, the AI, and I was just lost and confused. If you know what Clara and the Sun is, they live in a world where kids get these AFs, artificial friend. I don't even know why they get artificial friends. There's still other people out there. They're still like interacting with other people. It's not like now we're in the middle of like a plague and everyone has to like isolate and be indoors. And so it's like, oh, let's get them some artificial friends to help them like learn and whatever, be social. But no, like it's nothing like that at all. And there's just some parts of the world that I just didn't understand and are never explained because they just assume you know what it is because you're seeing the world through the eyes of this AI and that's her world and that's the way it is. So I was just like, I don't understand this book. I have 5 minutes left on my battery life on my computer and I don't have the charger down here, so let's keep moving. Are you more likely to read on a sunny or cloudy day? So I'm more likely to read on every day. So cloudy days are nice. You sit inside, you grab a warm drink, you cozy up with a book, and you just hunker down and read. Sunny days are nice because you can get a cold drink, get a snack, go outside and like suntan and hang out and have the kids running around playing and you're getting fresh air and it's awesome. So both. I maybe more on a cold rainy day because you're inside and you don't have anything else to do. We're on a hot sunny day, you can go to the park, you can go for a walk, you can do these other things, but you can also listen to an audiobook or whatever. But maybe slightly more towards rainy cloudy day, but both. Can you leap from book to book or do you need buffer time between? So I do leap from book to book. I'll close a book, give it a few minutes, like whenever I'm ready to go sit down and read again and pick up a new book. But I need buffer time because I don't remember anything I read. Everything just like blends together. And like in February, I was reading a couple books and I messaged my friend. I was like, I just finished this book. So now I only have 5 books currently reading on my like Storygraph reading journal that I'm keeping a track of currently reading. I have like 5 books. She's like, how do you keep it all straight? And I'm like, I don't even know. But they were different enough that I was keeping it mostly straight, but I do need buffer time. And I should be giving myself buffer time like a day or 2 to like digest that information and know what I'm reading and like maybe take a couple notes or write down like how I felt immediately after reading it, but I have not been that. So I do leap from book to book with very little buffer time in between. So that is it for that tag that I cannot for the life of me remember what it's called. That's it. Thank you for watching. Let me know, do you consider yourself a mood reader or do you have a TBR? Oh, my computer shut itself off. Perfect timing. Mood reader or do you set and stick to a TBR? And I'll see you next time. Bye!